So now we get into something very interesting. This is animism and cleansing. What about the herbs agency? And some people are going to scoff about this. So I understand it's kind of like maybe a little difficult to wrap your head around this kind of idea of animism. So, what is an animistic theory? Okay, so this is the idea that herbs or plants are not just tools or ingredients, that like they're somehow conscious participants in like this act of like spirituality or healing or purification or cleansing or like like that we are collaborators with these plants and that we're not like controlling their use and we're not like picking these plants so that we control them, that we are like kind of working with them. So that's
Hmm.
definitely my view of it.
Yeah, mine too.
And um there's like I mean, I know that like it's talking about fungi, but like fabulous
Mm-hmm.
fungi is like quite a little show that kind of will like blow your mind about like the communication levels, like that the fungi is basically like a communication pathway between plants and trees and like all sorts of different things. And so definitely there's communication going on in the plant in the flora world. So you should really key into that there is communication and you can be a part of that communication. And anyway, so instead of just using a plant, we can start the process of like inviting or building a relationship with plants, being with them and feeling their energy and asking for their help. So form a relationship with your plant or your tree or your herb. Um, I like sometimes it can be easier to start with a tree. I feel like they are big and
Mm-hmm.
huge and although ingesting a plant or an herb can really form a relationship as well, but I feel like even like putting yourself up against like putting your back up against a tree or hugging a tree or like all those things can really like you share the energy of that tree. And as like a humongous entity, like it's kind of like an easier feel sometimes than like meditating with a plant or and that's how you get started. I'm not suggesting that you don't meditate with your plant or your herb, but and talk to it and invite it, but I'm saying to get started. So, like commune with the energy of flora period. Like go into like a natural environment and with the view that these have the all this floral life has energy. All this flora around you is like half of our world, more than half probably. And like that this is their world and that we live on it and that we are part of it and that we can be like an ecosystem and in community with this energy. Like go into nature and commune with that energy and really with the intention of communing and with being a part of that energy. Then you can, when you have felt this energy, you can really look for like feelings of yes or no energy through like energetically with the plants or even during like a dream realm or during a tarot pull. You can like really ask a plant if they want to use the energy that they naturally possess because different plants, that's what we're studying here, possess internally different strengths and different energetic signatures. And so what you're really asking this plant is not if they have this energy because you study a book and you can find out, you know, what you're asking them is if they want to help you in your with this cleansing with their energy, with their naturally cleansing energy, if they will assist you. So that's that. And then you're looking to create conversations, not commanding these plants. Just by being a user, you are commanding. If you are a collaborator, you're creating a conversation. So that's kind of where I am. So also, you've got to recognize that plants have knowledge about like equilibrium and balance and cleansing. The plants that are designated for cleansing, they have more knowledge about this, oftentimes more than you do. That is what they do. That is their
It's
MO.
the expert.
Exactly. They're the expert on cleansing. And the plants that's their like that's what they do. So they know you've got to go into this like letting the plant's knowledge lead the way. Um, you also have to recognize that maybe the plant is going to you can't be certain that the plant sees everything that you see as negative or bad or foreign as negative and bad and foreign. Maybe the plant's knowledge is going to let something stay. It may differ from what your ego labels as bad or foreign or different or needs to be cleansed. So you need to be able to put your ego aside and let the plant's knowledge lead the way and to determine what needs to be cleansed in your space. Um, so your role then as a collaborator with these plants is to hold space for this, to facilitate the plant operating the way in its natural way. After the plant has said yes, that it will help you and you feel an energetic connection with the plant, then you're going to allow it. It's a process of allowing, not forcing or not using, but allowing. So, herbalism, specifically cleansing as reciprocity. So you'll find out why I put our little logo there in a second. So, um, when a plant absorbs negative energy or transform it, the plant is giving of itself. So when it says yes and you formed a relationship and you become a collaborator with the plant and you've allowed the plant's knowledge to lead the way, there's got to be a recognition that this is about reciprocity, that the plant has given of itself, and even to the point of being destroyed sometimes and being used up and being like transformed. So it's our duty to give back, right? So, some ways that you can give back is through offerings, through gratitude. You could tend a garden. You can talk to the plant in a kind way. And you can educate others about plants. And that's, of course, why I have our logo up there, is because part of our reciprocity to the plant world is in the education of the energy of these lovely, lovely, lovely beings to the rest of you. So,
I always tell people that like I consider time a sacrifice, right? So like if I'm spending my time studying something or talking about something, like that's a sacrifice that I'm like making to that thing,
yeah,
right? And I think that that's a big thing because time is precious. And so like dedicating time to something is I think a great way to show like respect and um, yeah, sacrifice.
to give back, to really give back and
Mm,
to like show the respect. I think that like how we
mm,
talk about herbs and are deep diving into like who these plants are and like how like they've been how who they've spoken to over the course
mm.
of like centuries is really like sharing their knowledge with the world is really an act of reciprocity. So how does this play out? So like just like we've talking about. You attune yourself to the plant's language, to their scent, their sensation. Hopefully, you're even dreaming about them. You have instinctual feelings about them because you feel close to a plant. And so, I don't know if you've ever felt close to a plant, but try it out for size. If you're, this is about talking about it like plants in a certain way. And I agree 100% with this way. So you can articulate your need to the plant, like openly and transparently, like you're confiding with a friend. Tell the plant what you need from it and talk to it and communicate your energy with the plant about what you're looking for and that you're looking to cleanse your space and that you're feeling yucky and you have icky feelings and there's been a horrible fight and that you need their help, like with cleansing this space of that bad energy. So you then can feel a response and you can interpret how the plant responds, manifest. And you can, like, maybe you'll feel a shift in energy, a vision, a sudden bit of clarity about using and collaborating with this plant. And when you do, like, it's a partnership and you feel like instead of now you are in command and you're on like a more evolved than the plant or you're like better than plants and you can just use plants, like there's a recognition that you're not cleansing the world, but you're participating in this cleansing relationship and in the world's own self-cleansing through this relationship that you've built with this plant. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we talked about this just a little bit when we were talking about mine, but same concept, like saying that you're using it is almost disrespectful. Um, yeah, so I agree with all of this. I still remember the Datura dream that I had like 2 years ago, when I dreamt of the pods. Um, but I went into this like yard, somebody's backyard, and there was Datura pods on vines like everywhere. And as I was walking past them, they were cracking open. It was really interesting.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
know. I feel I'm so you know what? I don't feel like a lot of people think it this like through this much. Like I feel like they're just using
Mm,
either medicinally or magically, that they're just using
mm,
herbs and they're not like thinking about it like this.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's a whole other way to think about plants and flora and the world around us and
Hmm.
get away from like the concrete jungle, like or stay in the concrete jungle and just notice because there's
Hmm.
plant life everywhere. Notice the
Hmm.
plants around you, touch them, feel them, get close to
Yeah.
them. Like even as I'm driving along, I was driving somewhere. I don't know if it was to work or somewhere. It was to work. And I turned to the side of the road and there's all this huge datura, just like you were talking about. And I'm like, I just felt such a call to it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you beautiful things. Like I just sent my energy like to commune with
Yeah.
it. Like. So
Yeah. You can also do this like with the ones that you eat, right? Like if you're having a
yeah,
spinach salad, like,
spinach is a plant.
like
Exactly.
yeah, like I think that that's a big part of it too.
Yeah. So a little quick rundown on animism and cleansing.
Yeah.
So, do certain tools carry cleansing power? Well, we shall see. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say like a bowl or
Hmm,
something like a container would be part of like the liquid. And tools specifically, like a candle that could produce heat and potentially like smoke, maybe things like that. Yeah, I definitely think so.
okay. So, plant smoke, of course, we've talked about this, carries like biological and the energetic imprint of the plant. So, we've talked about this, we just talked about this. So, and that like chemistry, like that affects the air, the nervous system, it alters our perception and our emotion, even our intention. even before like our intention is at play, like it's like objectively plant like these plants objectively have that energy. So this it dissolves, transforms, it's ephemeral, travels through thresholds, it's good for transition or spiritual purification. So we talked about this sound tools and bells, like singing bells, they create vibrational patterns that organize or entrain energy fields. They influence space and psyche. So the sound of a bell or the sound of a singing bowl or something like that, or what are those? You can feel the
Like a
energy,
rattle.
like tuning forks. You can feel that
Mhm.
energy. It resets your vibrational harmony, and it doesn't move matter, but it realigns it. It restores coherence after a turbulence. So just like you said, like water, steam, like in the bowls. So if you're using baths, rain, shower steams, um, water is associated with liminality and renewal. It dissolves boundaries, washes away stagnation. So, emphasizing release, emotional renewal, all that stuff. We talked endlessly about water, though. So, I feel like, but with tools, I feel like intention is a huge thing. So, whether you're using like a candle, like that, like I feel like intention is huge with candle work and with like using like bowls and water and like taking a shower can just be a shower. You know, it's like your intention that you put on the shower. That's so tools. I feel like tools almost require our intention in a way that like plant elements don't necessarily do, even though it's but like like I said, the tool's energy can remain dormant or diffuse. Like if we don't have the intention, a bath is just a bath. So
Mhm.
I mean it cleans us, but I don't know if it cleanses our like vibrational system. So like our intention is going to focus and direct like any like natural virtue, like like I said, like the candle part. It's between a candle being lit on a table and like my I would say my mother lighting a candle because she likes the smell, right? Or like because it's like
Mhm.
or because it's pretty and
Mood setting or something.
yeah, and a candle lit for like a specific purpose and intention.
Mm.
So, like tools can be used to amplify consciousness. They give form, texture, sensory dimension. So,
Mhm.
um, again, I think like a balanced view, like they're symbiotic, like the practitioners, like our intent like ignites the tool, even if it kind of has a natural potentiality. And like there's like, but there are definitely like natural like things that lend themselves more to cleansing, like the water or um like a candle that's like meant for like a white candle or like anything like a shower or a bath or like water. Anyway. So I think this is like our last couple ones, but the moon phases, and we talked about this earlier about the moon phases, but this kind of like goes into detail. And I think it's really interesting how I did this because if I may say so myself, not to toot my own horn, but like, I think like an interesting way, like if you wanted to go about a cleansing, like you could even move with it to like the waning moon, to the dark moon, like you could go through like to the like from the waning moon, that's to the let's see. Anyway, we'll go through it. So the moon is waning. It's going away, right? So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That's what the waning crescent's about. So we're talking about getting rid of things. So like surrendering things, releasing things. Like when you're cleansing, like if you're cleansing through this phase, and I think it's really interesting to do like a three-part cleansing, especially if you're doing like a cleansing like a seasonal cleanse, or like you feel like you really need a big cleanse, you could do this through like these three phases of the moon that I'm going to talk about. So you could like, this is like about deep energetic purification and cleansing of negativity. So anything toxic, you're getting rid of like these attachments, cord cutting, huge house cleanses, cleansing of habits, all that stuff. Because you're like, think about it, the energy is getting smaller. It's about release. It's getting smaller and smaller and focused, and you're going down to nothing. So then so the ritual tone should be strong, decisive. Sometimes it's somber. So it's going to clear paths for renewal and for new energy. It's kind of like how we talked about the tarot cards. Like this would be the death aspect of the tarot card. Like it would be like going, like getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you would continue with the dark moon. So the energetic theme would be like surrender, rest, sacred void, like to this is about closing cycles, dissolving attachments, but really like getting deep into your own personal self and your own shadow work, and like what needs to be like cleansed on a deep sacred shadowy level within yourself. It's quiet and in introspective and absolute. It's like the great unmasking. It's a womb of stillness where old energy dies so that rebirth can take shape in silence. And then the third aspect of this is kind of like that Ace of Cups energy that we were talking about before. It's like you can complete this with like the new moon and the idea of like this renewal and awakening, like the first breath of like possibility and cleansing. It's about like gentle purification. You're like preparing for new beginnings. You're like clearing sacred spaces for use and sacred tools for use. Like you're preparing things for consecration, rebalancing, inviting clarity after a deep release. So your tone would be more hopeful and tender and intentional. It's like new light and new rekindling. It's like cleansing through blessing and purifying through the act of like renewal and beginning again and bringing back into balance. So that is that. What do you think about the moon phases?
I agree, but I would use like different terminology, I guess. So I would do, I wouldn't really do anything pertaining to cleansing on the waxing, but I would do like bringing in, right? So cleansing for me is always going to be waning, always. And then dark would be like setting in this new, clean, dark space, potentially like protection maybe, but I wouldn't really do cleansing on the dark either. It would be like, okay, everything has been stripped. I'm gonna sit in this space of nakedness almost. And then waxing would be like bringing in.
Hermit.
So I agree with the Ace of Cups. Huh?
Like
Yeah,
the
my hermit.
hermit
Yeah,
sitting in
exactly.
the space of
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the hermit for sure. And then like I agree with the Ace of Cups for waxing, but I wouldn't see it as like the last step within cleansing. I would instead see it as like bringing in and building up the new stuff that I want to fill with the space. So I agree, but I would change like I would tweak it a little bit.
Okay. I see how that would work. And it probably depends on how you would see cleansing as well. Like if you like are looking at more as like
Yeah.
bringing it back into balance, or like you're
Mm-hmm.
bringing in that balanced energy now, or you're bringing
Yeah.
instead of just like, which sometimes I do see it as just stripping away. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Awesome. Well, that is that. Let me stop sharing.
Nice.
And we have completed our discussions in in cleansing. And so we're going to start on
Yay.
a whole new topic in getting the ick out. And it is, take it away. What is it?
Protection.
Protection.
Yay.
Woohoo! And we're going to come back next time with some protecting herbs, our first two protecting herbs. So that will be
Indeed.
exciting, and it's always fun to get a new one. And we kind of got some possibilities for new topics. And I didn't write down that other one that we said. Dang it. We talked about ancestors maybe as a new like focus.
Yeah, ancestors and then pairing of cards
Oh yeah. Pairing, maybe looking
if we
more
wanted
into
to
the
do that
tarot
one.
in general.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that. Okay. That sounds great. And
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to protection, and I'm glad you guys have joined us. And I hope you guys got as much out of it as we did. And we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.